What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope you guys are doing well out there on this Monday morning. We're doing pretty good ourselves.
And Joan.
And tonight, we're here to honor a special request for a dear sister, and I hope this message finds you well. Tonight, we're going to be talking about unequally yoked marriages, and relationships, and soul ties. A soul tie that is basically toxic. Okay, we do form soul ties, with our significant others, whether it be marriage or, like I said, a significant other. Let's just leave it at that. And sometimes when we these soul ties, they tend to become toxic, and sometimes we really don't want to let them go. We know we need to let them go, but then, we don't. We tend to stay, in these messed up relationships, But as far as unequally yoked marriages, let's start with that particular subject first.
And to elaborate on what James just said, from what I understand and have heard from other people, that we as the woman carry on some of the personalities of the man that we have been with before we get married. So that's why they're saying that women have so many different personalities and flip-flop like crazy.
Wow, talking about bringing along unwanted baggage, that has a lot to do with it, and that kind of ties into, with the toxic soul tie as well when it comes to situations like that. You know what I mean? But nothing, in the world can destroy a marriage faster than being unequally yoked. Other words, when you don't see eye to eye with one another, one spouse is pulling, to the right and the other spouse is pulling to the left. That can be dangerous to the foundation of any marriage.
Yes, it can. Even something as important as raising your children, because kids play parents against each other, and they know they can get away with things with on one way or another. And if you guys have set the boundaries and agree on how you're going to raise them, then you can't let them play you against each other.
And then they can definitely see there's nowhere to run.
Exactly.
There's nowhere to run. You trapped, because we are a united front when it comes to, being equally yoked. But if you unequally yoked, well, guess what? Anybody and damn near anything can come between you guys, because you have no base of unity.
And it all started in the dating phase, because you're getting to know each other, you're finding out what each other's morals are and what you believe and what you don't believe, and which supposedly is what gravitates you to each other, and you do end up getting married. So that's the important phase of finding out if you guys are on the same page and have the same understanding.
Yeah, I'll say so, because understanding, is one thing you definitely have to have with one another. It has to be an agreement, and it has to be an agreement that's treasured, and basically where you stick to the script of that agreement and do not betray it, basically. Because if you do that, then you're going to have, a couple unhappy people in the home. That's just what it is, you know what I'm saying? And let's say, for example, if this brother over here, let's say, for example, he's practicing the Hebraic faith, okay? And we can't get the sister over here to convert. You see what I'm saying? To that, you know what I mean? Now, by right, if he's doing this, the Hebraic faith, if she is his wife, she is supposed to be going along with him on that, because that is righteous right there. Now, if he were doing something else, like being unrighteous, you understand what I'm saying, then no, I wouldn't say that the sister is supposed to follow him into anything, like, if it's unrighteous behavior or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, say, for example, if he wanted to get into dealing drugs of some sort like that, and it's like, no, I don't think you should do that. I don't think we should get into anything like that. You know what I mean? Because that will only lead to, something bad for us both. You see what I'm saying?
Or if he wanted to smoke a blunt or something, she'll probably be quicker to go along with that. Because people, it seems like they don't have no problem with jumping to do something that's not right, but when you're trying to do the right thing, most people have a problem with that.
Yeah, they do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, exactly. People are quick to fall for the wrong than they are, to fall for the right, basically. But yeah, that would be a very unequally yoked situation between these two people right here. And I'm using them for example. It would be very unequally yoked if she does not want to, follow him into like the Hebraic faith. And there's things that we as the ones of us that's practicing the Hebraic faith, you know what I'm saying? That we are required to do as a man and we're required to do, as a woman. You know what I'm saying? And that's where being equally yoked comes in.
Just like, for example, if he wanted to get the juice and she didn't, then neither one of them should get it because they should be on the same page about it. And we as women, like I said in our video last night, we have to be submissive to our men. And the man is submissive to the Messiah, and the Messiah is submissive to God. He didn't tell us to follow any kind of man, ladies. He told us to follow a man that's following his order. And if your man is trying to lead you in the right direction and you kicking against it, then if he take 2 steps and you pulling him back 4, that's not good.
No, that's not good at all. As a matter of fact, she's basically bucking against the Most High himself because those are the standards that he set for, the whole, what is it, the chronological order. You know what I'm saying? Between, the Godhead, where it's like I said before, the Most High, Yahweh Shai, the man, the woman, and then the children. That's the way it works. And a lot of people, here in spiritual Babylon, no, they don't want that right there. They want a woman basically to usurp authority over a man. And there's a lot of women, a lot of black women, they think that's the righteous way to be, but it's not.
Because when I was coming along, you would hear the older women say things such as, don't let no man tell you what to do, don't listen to no man. Well, if he's not a man that's after God's own heart, then no, you probably shouldn't listen to him. But I don't know a man that want a woman that he can't tell something. He should be able to talk to her sometime about things. And, because we as women, sometimes we want to buy something, for example, especially if it's a major purchase. We will leap without weighing it out and thinking it over. Whereas a man, a lot of times, he will take all of that in consideration. A lot of time we as women, we just see what we want and we want it, and we're going to do whatever we got to do to get it, even if it's making us struggle more.
Right, and with the thing about struggling, oh man, financial, that's no good, to bring those kind of problems upon yourself. You understand? Financial struggle, that's another thing that can chip away at the foundation of any marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the man's thinking one way and the woman's thinking the other, in the marriage. Hey, it's just unequally yoked right there. You unequally yoked, you know what I'm saying? And the way to overcome that is to come together and discuss your issues. You understand what I'm saying? And get on equal ground to be equally yoked when it comes to that, And I'm glad you brought up the fact, about getting the juice, because there's some situations in marriages that I've seen to where, okay, one did get it and the other one didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, the one that didn't get it, if they were to stay with the one that does get it, is going to be affected, in a major way, when this thing come into fruition. however way, they, bring whatever problems that's going to come with it. They're going to be affected some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand that, but that's just what it is.
Like if you are both strong in the faith and trying to make it to heaven on the right side of paradise, well, we all know if you take the mark of the beast that you're not going to go. The Bible clearly says that. And if one person is thinking, well, how are we going to do this? How are we going to live? How are we going to pay our bills? Well, then that's where the trust got to come in and believe in what God told us, that he's going to give us a way out of it. And if you're fighting against each other all the time, then the devil got the relationship where he wanted it.
He's in the marriage. He's right between the marriage.
You can't give him the upper hand in your marriage.
You can't, So that will be, our answer when it comes down to being equally yoked. You have to have a united front. You have to stick together. You have to talk things over with to get an understanding. And then once you get the understanding, you must honor the agreement of that understanding. And that's basically what it boils down to be equally yoked.
And it doesn't mean that we agree on things and then one or the other go behind one or the other back and don't do what you guys agreed on.
Yeah, see, that right there, that's betrayal right there. And that's not good, Now to get into this other subject about soul ties. Now, as far as soul ties go, it's like I said before. Soul ties are basically consummated through sexual activity with a person. I'm telling you, I've seen some couples act like, have knockdown and drag out fights. You understand what I mean? But couldn't stay away from each other when it came down to the only way they agreed was having sex. You understand what I'm saying? And that's unhealthy in itself.
And I've heard of people, they're so unequally yoked or so tied and confused that they argue about if the sun is shining or not.
Somewhat like, how can I say it? I can't be with you and I can't be without you. Some crazy shit. That's what basically what
live with you, can't live
that's better for
yes.
And that's miserable in life. That's misery in the relationship right there. And if the person is toxic, well, then what you're going to have to do is starve yourself out and that person out so this unhealthy soul tie can just die. And the only way that you can do that is through prayer, fasting, and supplication. Patience, in other words, for the Most High to give you the strength to endure until this wicked, toxic soul tie dies out. Because if it don't, it can take you down. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, people have knockdown and drag out fights. You understand what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, the police are involved in every damn thing else, and the man ordered to stay away from the house, or the woman ordered not to go around the man, and what have you. Even go and get these restraining orders. And the next thing you know, while all these things are in process, they back on top of one another, huffing and puffing. You understand what I'm saying? This is crazy. That's got to be unhealthy.
Yes, it can be. It's complicated in the first place because after all, you've got two people from two different backgrounds coming together, trying to make one life together. And like I said earlier, if we as women, that really is true, that how they used to say everybody you had sex with, that you and that person having sex with them at the same time, which, okay, maybe not. But
thinking
if
like
that is the truth, then you do have all these extra soul ties that are involved in your relationship. And like James said, it's going to come with praying to the Most High, fasting, and really humbling yourself and to try to get rid of all of this extra energy that you have invited into your world.
Which is scary in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Because like John just said, about these different personalities that comes along with these people that was prior to you. You understand? That's basically what it boils down to. And you gotta know, in a situation like that, demonics are in the midst of these things, and they are. A lot of people don't realize that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on with this particular picture right here, but it look like this couple. This chick right here ain't trying to hear nothing that this dude is trying to get to her.
Yeah, she got the talk to the hand thing.
Yeah, she got a lot of that. Her mind on something else. You know what I'm saying? A fight might break out. He might slap the shit out of her because he feel like he being ignored what he's trying to tell her. Any damn thing. And then next thing you know, they fighting. Then the police. Somebody get hurt. Whatever. Then probably about after a week later, they sneaking and creeping. You see what I'm saying? Behind the orders of law enforcement and whatever to stay away from each other. Like I said, it's madness. It's madness.
And if you got somebody in your life that's keeping you more unhappy than they are happy, because after all, that's what we're supposed to be, a ray of sunshine for each other's life. But if they're keeping you always stressed out, you unhappy, you can't function, then they are not healthy for your soul.
They're not unhappy. They're not healthy for, your growth as a human being spiritually, mentally or physically. Matter of fact, what they there to do is destroy you.
And I would add, that don't matter who it is.
That don't exactly. I'm glad
husband,
you said that.
Your wife, your children, siblings,
relatives,
mother, father, auntie, uncle. There's toxic relationships in any type of relationship. It's just a different type of love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you only know when you go through these things and experience these different situations when it comes down to toxicity in relationships and soul ties and whatever, you know what I mean? You ain't got to be no PhD to know how this thing goes, how it works, you know what I'm saying? Because basically you got all of the hands-on experience when it comes down to dealing with, unhealthy, relationships and soul ties.
And another way not to have a toxic relationships takes giving and taking. It takes, giving in both directions, like sacrifice from each person if you're going to make it work. And then work. Relationships take work. They don't just happen by themselves. It's not just going to automatically work out. You have to work at it.
Work is the key. And you also got to work at it, ending it if it's an unhealthy soul tie, and continually consummating this unhealthy soul tie through the activity of sexual contact back and forth between the person that you loathe, not love, but loathe, is not going to help this unhealthy soul tie die out.
Well, I want to say, if you are married, because the Most High, He hates divorce. And for us as women, if we divorce our husband for any reason other than infidelity, then if he set us aside, we cannot go out and have another husband while he's still alive. The only way we can get another husband if he's deceased.
That's biblical.
But yet and still, he can go out and have another woman, because he's not committing adultery. The woman is, because she is betrothed to the first husband.
Yeah.
That's still there if he's not gone.
Now,
so,
when you look at it, now that's a hard thing for a person to do. Other words, if a man were to write a bill of divorcement to his wife and put her away, you understand what I'm saying? He better have a damn good reason for doing so.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that woman, she is actually put away, and she cannot, by the Most High rules, she cannot go out and have, sexual relations with another man. She cannot marry another man. She is actually closed off.
Unless that husband dies.
Unless he dies, So I guess that's the reason why we've always seen these sick movies, where the person, the one is like the spouse rather kill the other person, than to give them a divorce, because I guess they knew that. It's somewhere in the scriptures. I'm gonna have to find that,
And there's only one reason, according to the Bible, also for divorce, and that is infidelity. So other than that, you got to work it out. Modern day marriage, as soon as trouble come, everybody want to flee in their own corner or direction or whatever. Back when our grandmothers and great grandmothers and fathers was getting married, and even some of our parents, they toughed it out.
Man, did they? Golly, they did, man. You know what I mean? Dude be done went out and made a whole nother family on the other side of town. You understand what I'm saying? And they siblings, have other siblings on the other side of town could wind up messing around with each other, start courting, and then the father be acting all funny and shit, saying, well, y'all can't see each other. Why? Why not? Yeah, because I said you can't. You know what I mean? Then do a little bit of investigation and find out the hell they have brothers and sisters.
And then as for us as Israelites, the 12 tribes, he didn't do nothing wrong, really, because from what I understand, the man could have multiple wives. He could have that woman on the other side of town. But we wasn't raised in that, so we're not down with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he really didn't do anything wrong in this. It must be obviously in their nature for some of them to want more than one woman anyway. I don't know. When we get to paradise and live in heavenly realm, for all of us that don't like it now, then if it's biblical, it's going to be that way.
Yeah, it's gonna be that way if that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. Because in the kingdom, it's said that there'll be no taking and giving in marriage. You know what I'm saying? But then you hear these other things about there's gonna be children in the kingdom. I don't know how that's gonna work.
Me either.
But what we need to do right here is try to figure this thing out. Well, how it works right now
on this
side, and
yes.
that's basically what matters now, because we already see what it is and what needs to be done. But the way to get rid of an unhealthy soul tie is you're gonna have to starve that out if that person's not willing to work with you to make things work. That's if you are married.
And then I want to say this too: for most of us, in my family, there wasn't a whole lot of that I can think of cousins and whatever that was raised in a house where there was a mother and a father. Most of the time it was the woman raising the kids by herself, and he might have went on off and married somebody else or living with some other woman. So most of us come from dysfunction to begin with. So that's put you behind the game in the first place.
Well, the way I come from a 2-parent household up until probably about the age of maybe 12 or 13. You understand? But I seen a lot of things and I learned a lot of things between my parents. And I knew whatever, like in my marriage, say when I got grown, if I want my marriage to be successful, don't do the things that I've seen my parents do. You see what I'm saying? Don't mimic those things, because if you do, well, more than likely you're gonna wind up just like them.
Then you see all the fighting and stuff, and I knew I didn't want that in my marriage.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And
I mean physically fighting, not just having an argument.
Well, where we come from, it's always physical. We don't be talking about like they do on the soap operas, talking about we had a terrible fight, and all it was motherfuckers was arguing. That's all it was doing, arguing back and forth. And he stormed out of the house and got in the car. You know what I'm talking about? And went somewhere and got drunk and laid with another woman. Just stuff like
or
that.
He went out to get some milk and it took him 3 hours.
Took a wrong turn and kept going. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? But where we come from, I'm just saying there was moving furniture. You wake up in the middle of the night and furniture is being moved and a lot of yelling and shit and, all kinds of shit. That sound like a damn earthquake downstairs. Things like that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, if you don't want an unhealthy soul tie and you want to get away from a person, you have to starve yourself out from that person.
Yes.
If that person don't want to, be right or whatever. And don't be having no third party in the situation either, because that makes matters that much more worse too.
Yes, it does.
Well, people, that's all we got on this one right here. I wish we can go a little bit longer, but as it is, tomorrow's Monday and you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So just tell us what y'all think about this particular video. We're interested in hearing your thoughts, views, and opinions on it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And people, please remember to live your life as though we are being watched, simply because we are. This is James.
And John.
And we are out. Peace.